All right. Thank you guys so much for being here today. It was a crazy announcement, wasn't it? I emailed everybody. I put this announcement in a few of my Facebook groups. I'm like, please come and listen to what Aiden is doing in the world. And if you've been to the website, theworldsgreatestexperiment.com, I know I left that for all of you to go look at. You're going to see the main message on the homepage, building a love-based economy to fuel a better world. But I got to spend some time listening to Aiden and his mission. And I don't think I've ever had as fast of a whole body yes to anything. And you know me, you guys, the ones who know me know I leap at things, but this was so furiously fast. I even was like, whoa, Laura, what is going on here? So I'm just going to leave it to Aiden now to talk about his mission and vision. And yeah, Aiden, I was so grateful to have met you, and I can't wait for everyone to hear what this is all about.
Oh, likewise, same goes for me. And thank you everyone for taking the time out of your day to be here and hear what we're up to in the world. I'm excited to share it with you. So um, I like to I think it's a good idea to just start back from the genesis a little bit so that you can understand how this came about. Because although it's just coming to light now, I've realized that it's been a lifelong journey that's sort of been heart guided for many, many years, decades, in fact, without me actually knowing what was happening. And it's just sort of unfolded in front of me into what we've got now. But I'm originally from New Zealand, and I grew up in a poor family in New Zealand, and we had our share of difficulties. I ended up getting into some trouble when I was younger and deciding I needed to run away or get away. So just before my 16th birthday, I left New Zealand to Australia, where I ended up basically getting into a situation I didn't want to be in, and I was faced with this decision of, okay, I think I can see my life can go in two directions here. I can keep going on the path I'm going on, and potentially, end up somewhere that nobody wants to be, or I can do something drastic and sort of change onto a different path. And so what I decided to do was grab a globe, spin the globe, and put my finger on it. And I was like, man, I'm just going to go wherever I land. So I spun it and I landed on the Philippines, which I had no idea where it was until that point. Bought a ticket and I ended up in the Philippines, found myself there, an illegal alien, no money, stranded there, no way out. And a Filipino family that I'd met when I first got there sort of took me in and unofficially adopted me and gave me, I guess, love when I didn't have any. Um, One day I sat down with my Filipino dad and I just asked him how I could ever repay him for saving my life. And he told me something really beautiful and simple, that when I'm in a position to pay it forward to someone, to pay it forward and consider the debt repaid. And those words just had such a profound effect on me, because something just occurred to me in that moment, that that simple act of paying it forward, throughout time, an infinite number of people would be touched with that touch point of love because of one loving act that somebody did. And I made that a promise to myself at that moment, that I was going to find a way to pay it forward to as many people as I possibly could, while my Filipino parents are still alive, so that I can, I guess, as a gift for them, just to say, hey, thank you so much for what you did for me. I want you to know that that seed of love you planted has sprouted into something, and all these people that are getting the love they need now is because of you. So that was 2 decades ago, and I've been sort of searching for a long time what it was that I was supposed to do that was going to be big enough to pay homage to them. And about 5 years ago, I had this realization that what they did is they gave me a touch point of love when I didn't have it. And something that's really in the forefront for me is that in New Zealand, in particular, we have the highest rate of suicide in the world for young men. So had a number of people that I grew up with who took their lives, and it's a pandemic, really. And so I became really conscious of the fact that there's many people out there that don't have that touch point of love when they need it the most. And because of how frequency works, and when you're right down in the lowest of the lows, it's very, very hard to find people that are vibrating on the level that you need to help lift you out. And I wanted to fix that problem. I felt like we needed to build a bridge or a portal that we could connect people who are in need of love with the abundance that was out there without compromising the energy of the people that are giving the love. So they give the love on their terms to the point they know that they can manage what they're giving. So come up with a solution, I tried to visualize what it might look like. And it's like, what came to me is a giant invisible pipeline of love that stretches all around the world. And anyone at any point can get taught how to turn the faucet on, take the love that they need to get through whatever it is they're going through. And when they have an abundance of love, they can fire that love back out into the same network for somebody else to pick up on. So I realized that with the internet now and everyone having a cell phone, we've got the invisible pipeline. So all we needed to do was start to build a platform that would essentially function as a love exchange. So if someone needs love, they can request love. People all around the world who want to give love to somebody, want to share a bit of their love, can opt in. And for 2 minutes and 22 seconds, everyone sends a focused love meditation to that person. It's all tracked and measured through the app. And the person who's in need of the love can see a few minutes after being disconnected and having nothing, can see, you just got 10,000 people in 30 countries send you 2 minutes of love. And my hope is that it would be enough to shift people from the state they're in and help them get through, give them that touch point of love that they need in that moment. So I started building that, and my big vision was always to build the world's first digital currency that was actually mined with love, so that love became the way people could participate in this transaction. And we designed a whole white paper around the first cryptocurrency mined with love, and we were about to launch it. And the whole crash happened, and there was all this media coming out about how how these companies that had promised so much good were ripping the rug out from people and taking their money. And it was just like trust was at an all-time low. And I was like, man, it's not the right time to do this. And that was how we were going to fund the build out of the app, because we needed to make a big impact with this, because as you can imagine, you'd need to have 1 million people on the platform to ensure there's always enough love going to people that needed it. So I had to take a step back and decided, all right, we need to pivot here. I need to find a way where we can prove that love can function as a currency, and anybody who deals in this currency or touches this currency can become, will become touched or better than they were before they interacted with it. So I'd been learning a lot about energy and following a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza's stuff, Masaru Emoto, who showed how the energy affects the structure of water, which we're mostly comprised of. All these studies reading about how plants and trees growing faster and healthier and more abundantly with love. And it just occurred to me, like, if we know this, and we're only just starting to scratch the surface of understanding this, but we know this, it surely, like, common sense to me would dictate that in the future, as this mystery unfolds and we understand more of it, businesses of the future, our products, our services, the food we eat, our water, our wine, surely it should be infused with love. Like, that's got to be where it's going to get to eventually. And I just started asking the question, well, why isn't it? What's to stop us from doing it now? And I realized that the framework that I'd been building for the app was, we had the structure set up where we could plug in companies or plug in people who wanted to be the first to infuse love into what they did. So I started thinking about that, and I was like, well, the next problem that we need to solve is, where do we get the love from? And I really felt that in my heart that love, the right solution that was love-based, would really tackle, it wouldn't just fix this issue, but the solution would actually correct an imbalance in the world and perhaps help solve some of the world's most pressing problems as well. So I read an article that talked about how it's now an official statistic that more people in the world have access to cell phones, smartphones, and Wi-Fi than they do clean water and basic food, which blew me away. But I had this aha moment, and I was like, wow, that's where our workforce is. What if we could tap into these 1 to 2 billion people living below the poverty line right now that are desperately crying out for a way to make to provide for those they love the most? What if we could go to them, teach them how to meditate and send love using the latest technology, the latest research that we've been able to figure out as being the most effective, and we were to connect them with businesses and people around the world that wanted to be the first to infuse love, where a steady stream of love into their product, their service, their lives. And so that's where the next phase of the idea was born. And I the term I came up with was a love farm, because I felt like farms are somewhere where we grow our food that sustains our life. It just made sense that a love farm would be somewhere where we cultivate and grow love to send around the world to provide sustenance to those that were in need of it. So we set out to start creating love farms, and we went to the Philippines, which is where I felt the first love farms needed to be because of the genesis and the story and me being there. And we identified two communities initially that will be our first love farms. And there's over 2,000 people that live in these two communities. And the vision is that we go in, we teach them how to meditate. And every time they complete a love meditation, we've got two experiment groups initially, the individuals and businesses. Every time they complete a love meditation, it's logs measured, and they get a digital currency through the app that's immediately available to them, which they're able to transact with any of the vendors that service the community. So an example of what that might look like is one of our love farms. The only way that they make money is the men go out fishing. So if there's a storm or they have a problem with the boat, they don't catch anything, the family often goes without food. So in this case, the family could sit down together, meditate, and send love to someone or some product or someone around the world that needed it. And within 15, 20 minutes, they have enough credit to go down to the market and put food on the table. So it's an instant solution. There's no need for bank accounts or for carrying cash around. It's something that can work quickly. Um, where am I? Yeah, so the project is called the world's greatest experiment, and the idea is that we want to find I believe there's a better solution to the old charity model, and one of the big issues with charity is that when you give something to someone today, they need it again tomorrow, and you're not really solving the root cause of the problem and the poverty mindset. And something that came to me when I was meditating on this was like, what would a model look like? I'm sure you're all familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Um, but basically, on the basic level of the pyramid, which is the things that you need to survive, your shelter, your food, if you're never able to take care of those adequately, you can never take care of the things that are higher up in the pyramid, with the very top being self-actualization. And one of the things that came to me was, what if you could flip that pyramid upside down, and you could have them take care of all the things that they need in their base level by doing the top level? And I realized that if we were able to do that, what would happen is all the other layers of the pyramid would sort of fill in by default. And so some of the other areas are like sense of community, and one of the really big ones is their self-belief and self-worth. These people live in really hard conditions. They are uneducated, not by choice, because there's just no other way for them. They don't feel they have anything to offer. And I thought, what an incredible way to empower them to draw their awareness to the fact that they all have families, they all know how to love, draw their awareness to how important that is and how lucky they've got it, and be able to reward them for sending that out around the world, making history as the first love farmers on the planet, and being able to show them incredible stories of businesses and individuals who are streaming love, and it's affecting their companies. It's causing people to heal. It's causing all sorts of amazing things. Being able to go back to these communities and say, hey guys, look what you've done. Not only are you now in abundance, because you're able to earn a really good living through what we're doing, but you're changing the world. And I thought that has got to be a complete paradigm shift from where we're at right now. And if anything's going to break that poverty cycle, mindset cycle, I feel like that's got to be it. It's got to be it. So, yeah. Yeah, so all the meditations, I didn't touch on this, but about 3 years ago, I had an accident where I crossed over and I had a full NDE. And on the other side, I'd already been playing around with this idea, but it was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out at that point. So I on the other side, I was showing very clearly that this is what I was supposed to do. So when I came back out of it, I sold everything and I said, all right, I'm going full faith into this being the thing that I'm put here to do. And I was showing on the other side that the frequency of the project needed to be all built around 222, which is why the love meditations are 2 minutes and 22 seconds. There's a whole bunch of things that will never be obvious to people, but that frequency of those numbers is sort of underpinning everything that's in this whole app. So yeah, let me get my bearings here. Okay, so the way that it works is the two experiment categories we have initially are individuals and businesses. So individuals can pay $100 a month, which goes to we're a registered 501c3 nonprofit. That $100 a month comes through to us. We then farm it out to the love farmers through the app, who then send love back to the people who are the donors, right? So and then we've got the other experiment is the business experiment, where we offer companies, we've got 222 spaces. And the idea is that these will be the first businesses in the world to be streaming love. We set the intention for where the love is going. Is it going to your product, your service, your customers? And all the companies get a unique page on our app, which is updated in real time. So your customers can scan a unique code for you on a label, your social media. It links them through to your page and it shows them all the love that's in your product or service that they're consuming. So it gives them a real way. Like a lot of companies are out there saying we love our customers, we love the world, but this is the first time that there'll be actually a company will be able to be measurably infusing it into a product or service for somebody. So what happens is every time the love meditations are completed, it's all logged on the app, and everyone participating in it can see day or night, whenever they check their phone, they can see the love flowing to them. And we're really excited to see, our goal is to prove that we can create miracles. We can, businesses can become much more profitable. I mean, in my mind, I think it's a no-brainer. If you had two identical products and one of them's got over 1 million love meditations streaming to it every month, it's the same price. I mean, you know what you're doing to help the world at the same time. I think the level of consciousness on the planet is getting to a point where this is going to be something that can resonate on a mass scale. And as we can start to get the data, because we're the first to measure it, we can start to show people, like, who knows, an example, maybe you're a farmer and you stream love to your apples, and the year that you stream love to your apples, your crop grows 10% faster and the nutritional content's higher and you yield more fruit. But these are the kinds of things that we want to discover. I've been speaking to a friend of mine who's one of the top robotic surgeons in the US, and he was telling me that that one of the big problems that they have as surgeons is people who go in for serious operations are very often very alone. They may not have a lot of family around them. They're always scared. They're going into the unknown, and they don't know how to. It's much more dangerous for them as the surgeon if someone goes in who's really tense and scared, the complications, the risk of complications can go through the roof. And they are really interested to do an experiment group where we send love to all the patients of surgeons who are about to go into an operation so that the patients can calm down and see all this love going in. The last thing that they see before they go into the operation is all the love that's flowing to them. So there's endless possibilities for future experiments. And the aim is obviously every time we can prove that this experiment group is measurably better off with the love in it, we're going further and further to starting more love farms, bringing more people out of poverty, and sort of correcting the imbalance that we've got on the planet right now, in a really highly scalable way that can scale super fast. Any business anywhere in the world can plug into our system and go from no love in it to completely love infused in 24 hours. Meaning we can integrate this into new communities and lift people out of poverty in days and weeks, not months or years. So yeah, that's the I think that's in a nutshell where we're at. I'll share just a little bit with you on the big vision, but the big vision beyond this is that when we can prove that love works as a currency and everybody that deals in it is better off, that's the time when we'll circle back to the digital currency that we want to launch in the world. And that'll be intrinsically tied into the love farms and the amount of love that's being sent around the world, and the amount of businesses that are involved and people that are involved will directly link to the value of the currency as well. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I figured that it might be quite nice to just share a little video of the first love farm. It's only a minute, but just to show you get a feel for the community. And then maybe I can just talk a little bit about the impact that we'll be able to have when we get this first experiment going. But let me see if I can share my screen here. There we go. Okay. Good. Did everybody see that?
Yep, we can see it.
Yep. Great.
No audio yet, but is there audio?
Laura, you might have to go to the top where it says original sound for musicians on the right-hand side and click that on.
But you know what? If I turn my headphones off for a second, I think that'll work too. So I'll do that.
Everybody hear that?
No, so no, not yet. Oh, there we go.
Okay, great.
Diamonds of nature, we are more than strangers, firing with eyes closed. We are lighting up the night, and no star that shines so bright, and we're all aligned. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is, love is, love is, love is love. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is, love is, love is, love is love. Love is a temper. Love is a temper. Love is a temper.
Okay, so then, let me put these back on.
All right, so that's it just gives a little idea of the community. You can see it's in anywhere else in the world. This could be like a 5-star resort on this kind of place, but the people are called the Bajau people, and they they're ocean nomadic people. They don't have any land, so they actually go out to the coastal places where they build their entire communities out over the ocean, over rocks and ocean using bamboo. So it's beautiful, but it's very dangerous. They've got hundreds of kids running around on top of crudely put together little pathways over rocks in the ocean. And when we were there visiting the farm last time, a 3-year-old child had fallen through the gap just a few days before because there's no railings and died of a brain hemorrhage, So really simple things like being able to go in there and just put decent pathways will actually save lives immediately, So these are the kinds of things we can do. But I'll share a little bit of the community so you can understand what's going to happen, because every time a love farmer in our model, every time a love farmer earns $1, we put $1 into the community farm or for the love farm as well. And we go into each community, we work with the local authorities, the local powers that be, and we look at what are the things that are putting this community at a disadvantage. They need clean water, they need, a women's education center, they need school supplies or a school transport or whatever it might be, vaccinations. And we prioritize them. And then on the app, every time a love farmer completes a meditation, their balance goes up. But they also see the community balance, which shows the next goal for the community. So once enough love is sent collectively as a community, and they achieve a goal, we go in and we facilitate, implementing that into the community immediately. So as you can imagine, with hundreds of love farmers earning $1 an hour, working for $10 hours a day, it really doesn't take very long. A few days of this operating, we have enough funds to rebuild the pathways. After a couple of weeks, we can do the foundations on the village. We can make a measurable improvement in a dramatically short period of time, which I believe will be incredibly powerful when people see this through social media, through starting to hear about these communities that are going from extreme poverty to total abundance in record speed time, by sending love. I think it's going to be something that's going to resonate all over. But this is just a little snapshot of the current state and where it will be once we implement the experiment. But if someone has work, they're earning around $1 to $2 a day, and one of the guys in the video that I just showed you had 14 kids and he'd earned $30 in the last month. So he had nowhere near enough to provide for his family. He actually had to select 2 of his 14 kids that he thought had the best chance of making it to go to school, and the other 12 couldn't go. Not because schooling costed anything, they actually have free schooling, but it cost 20 cents each way for the kid to get to school. So on the education front, this project will give kids the chance, if they want to meditate, who can't go to school. They can meditate in the morning for 20 minutes and they can actually send themselves to school. Employment in the community is only about 3% right now, and 0% for the women. There's no opportunity for them at all. So they're super excited. We're going to be able to take that to 100% of all the eligible adults who would like to work will be able to work. Kids, only 50% of them are going to school. There's hundreds of them in this community. And like I say, the only thing that's stopping them is 20 cents a day, which is incredible. It's something we could remedy straight away. They don't have access to any clean water and good nutrition. We're going to be able to remedy that almost immediately. We're working with a medical mission company that will be going in and doing regular medical missions there to make sure they have access to the basic treatments and medications they need, which at the moment is 0 because they have no budget for it. And the infrastructure is another thing that's just, like I explained to you, the 3-year-old kid that passed away just before we were there. There's some really basic stuff that could be done, which will save lives immediately. So those are just a few of the main areas that give you a quick idea of how quickly we can make an impact. And because they're earning it themselves, all the research suggests that people value things much more when they've earned it themselves and they've had to pay for it. So that's what essentially we're doing. We're not helping them with charity. We're actually employing them all and giving them a purpose, which is far greater than they ever dreamed was possible. And I think it's just going to make an incredible example for the world and what's possible. There you go. Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell, guys. I mean, I've probably missed a couple of things. You have to forgive me. This is my first one-to-many presentation of this, so I probably fumbled my way through a little bit, but I hope that it's been clear. And essentially, where we're at right now is we only launched this week with our registrations, and our goal right now is we have up to 2,000 spaces for individuals globally to be in the first wave. So that will fund the first 2 love farms, and that's at $100 contribution a month. We ask for a 12-month minimum because we have to give the community a runway. But we say, right, guys, we're giving this 12 months, and if it works how we think it will, this will become an irreplaceable part of people's lives and people's businesses, and this will be how you can sustain your family and your community ongoing and take care of those you need. And then for businesses, we have 222 spaces as well. And if we can fill that or get close to that subscription, that will fully take care of our first 2 love farms and give us the energy we need to take the working model and blast it out around the world and show people what we're doing. And the goal is obviously to have people like yourselves, people that get it, that want to be the first humans in history to stream love, to experience miracles as well, so that we can go out to the world and show people how by giving love, you can get it back in droves. And the nice byproduct of that is that we're solving some of the biggest problems on the planet. So for anyone that's interested, we'll post the link in the chat, and I am absolutely at this stage open to any introductions, any one-to-ones. Anyone's got any questions about how it might work with their business and what we could do to work together. I am totally happy for anyone to reach out to me, and any and all suggestions, introductions are totally welcome at this stage. We want to get our experiment subscribed by the end of October is the goal, because we have to start at the start of November. So that's wherever we get to, we're going to kick off then. But if we can get it fully subscribed, that means the entire community can go from where they are now to being love farmers all at once. And I think that'll be incredible for the social experiment and for the proof that we're going to show the world on what this is doing and what the potential is for the future. So I think maybe it's we can open it up now, Laura, for anyone that might have some questions or can provide some more clarity. Yeah.
Tell us Ariana put your IG handle there. Thank you. We've got the website in there. We've got the donation page in there. Any other social handles you want us to know about?
No, that's it for now. We only launched the social, and the media's just gone out like literally a couple of days ago. So it's very fresh. You're the first people in the world to collectively have to know about this. So it is very much the beginning of the wave, getting the flywheel going. And when I met Laura, I was just, incredibly humbled and excited by her excitement in this project, because obviously what Laura does and what a lot of you guys do, you guys are the engine that's putting a lot of this consciousness out there, and I just was super excited at the fact that the first time I get to present it to a bunch of people would be people like you all. So I've also put I'll put my personal email there as well. If anyone would like to reach out, I'm more than happy to take the time to connect one-on-one with people.
Aiden, Natalie has offered for you to come on her amazing podcast. I've been on Natalie's podcast. She is an other level, thoughtful interviewer. Please take her up on that. It's an incredible experience. You're going to put in your contact info? There it is. Email.
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else has an opportunity? You've been on a podcast you loved being on that you think would like to share this message? Because I know a lot of you, my authors, have been. Please hook Aiden up. You're also on LinkedIn, aren't you? I think we're connected on LinkedIn too.
Yes, yeah, on
Okay.
LinkedIn.
That's one
And
great place.
and just to give a little example, which I think is, I'm sure you all get this, but one thing I've noticed as I've delved deeper into this is no matter what the business is, there's always love somewhere if you look hard enough somewhere. Like the person that founded the business most probably founded it because they loved something about what they were doing, especially if it's successful. And what I found is that it might not be initially obvious to everybody how well this can fit in with companies across the board. But we've been talking to a solar company that's interested in, because they're doing energy, right? They're interested in providing the solar for the love farms, and then they'll sign up for the experiment. Everyone with one of their solar panels will get their page on the app, which shows that they're getting the meditation sent to all the homes that have got their solar panels, for example. We've got Laura's publishing company, which I think is amazing. The first books that'll be streaming love to them, which I believe is a lot of you too. I mean, which is, to me, is incredible. What a great thing to have in the back of the book, where the person reading it can see that while they're absorbing this incredible knowledge that you're imparting, they're actually receiving love from thousands and thousands of people. And I didn't mention the number, but just from the first 2 love farms, when we're fully subscribed, the amount of meditations per month that you as the individual or the business will receive is between 1 and 1.2 million per month. So you can imagine, with every 2 love farms that we scale around the world, which is only an extra 300 or 400 businesses, that amount doubles. So you can imagine how much love will be streaming to the people that are in the experiment as we scale up. It's really quite amazing.
Stacy, what's your question?
Okay. So I think I heard you, Aiden. I mean, just amazing, amazing. I just want to say amazing, amazing. That
Yeah.
it's $100 for individuals. What is it for businesses to join?
So the businesses is $1,000 a month, and what's included in the business, there's a lot more to it. So what we're doing is we're creating a love certification. So it'll be the first officially love certified businesses. You'll get your own part of the app. So you'll get a unique part of the app that your customers, your staff can interact with. So when they scan a code, it will take anyone directly to your page, which will show in real time the love that's streaming. It will have information about your company, the intention of the love that's coming to it. So it really turns it into, it really turns your philanthropic dollar into it kind of bridges the marketing and philanthropy together, right? Because normally it's not. I was really conscious of it. It's not cool to tell people that you're giving away money for something, because it's really like confuses the line of why you're doing it. Are you doing it because you think you're going to sell more, or you do it because you actually care? But I felt like this was a really great way to do it, because you're sharing with your customers, because it's going to them. You're saying, hey, you guys need to know, if you're reading my book or you're buying my product, that it's not just this, it's also this. And I think that's super powerful.
And then I wanted to add just a couple things about why I was such a big yes. You all who have been in my community have gotten to know me a little bit, and you know what we're all about, and you know the big vision and mission, and I call you all my love warriors. You've heard that from me so many times. And what this felt like was also a way to, you all are so generous and selfless and constantly helping others. And how about we have some love moving back to our community too, so that we can fill to an overflow and keep doing the awesome work we're doing in the world. Like it felt like such a no-brainer to have that movement of energy. And the other thing that excited me so much is you all, like me, have been reading the science about this. You know what this is. I know you do. So like now we have this movement of it in a much, much bigger way. And I'm going to be a part of that, man. Like, let's go. Right. And so this just felt so good to me for so many different reasons. This is the kind of thing that I will be a part of, like in a maximum way. So if y'all need to chat with me later and have me talk you off the fence of being one of the first 222 businesses, I will do that. But also you have the other option to just be in it as an individual. And Aiden can tell you more about, you know, the differences between the two, aside from just the money part. But yeah.
One of the other things, Stacey, too, from the business side that I see the opportunity as, like, one, it's a tax deductible thing too, but beyond that, like, what this is there's an opportunity here to really make history, because the first businesses that sign up, especially in a specific niche or in a specific country, you're the first in the world ever in history to officially stream love in a way that can be measured and logged from when you start on and on for eternity, right? I believe there's a massive opportunity from a PR standpoint as well. Like, officially, you know, Brave Healer Productions is the first publishing company in the world, actually the first company they got in first before anyone else. So it's the first company ever to stream love to everything. And I think that that's pretty priceless, to be honest, because I'm convinced that we're going to get there eventually. I don't know how long it's going to take us, but I think this has got the power to move us in that direction faster than anything that I've been able to come up with or think about, which is really important to me. So that's the other thing. The early movers will be forever immortalized in this, because in the Love Farm, we're going to have a monument. We're going to have the 222 businesses that provided the love and the energy to get the flywheel going. We're going to have them permanently in there. So we're going to be really pushing the first businesses as kind of like the love angels, if you like, that made this whole movement possible, because it's all about the collective consciousness and the collective love, and us all banding together in love. And by its very nature, it doesn't work if we don't. It doesn't work with just me. We have to find the people that believe in this enough to be the ones that will have the courage to say, yeah, man, I'll give this a go. Like, the potential upside for this is astronomical, you know? So that's where I see it from a business standpoint. And in all the media that I'm doing, which is just starting, but we've got some bigger interviews lined up, some big articles, some TV shows have already expressed that they want me there. So I will do my best to push everybody as well, because I want the world to know who the first companies are, and also to inspire other companies and go, wow, if a publishing company's done it, maybe I could do it. I could be the first water company, or I could be the first wine company, or I could be the first company in France to put love in, you know? So this is what I'm trying to, what I think we can create if we, you know, get this energy going in the beginning to sort of get it out there.
Okay. A couple of questions, Ariana.
So Aiden, I'm wondering, I'm sitting here listening to you, and we don't sell a product, we sell services. But we have about 70,000 hits a month on our website. And I would love to be able to take a piece of that website and dedicate it to this, use that space to be able to say, go check this out. This is something really cool we're doing. I would love to be able to find a way to tie them from our website back. And, you know, I know that Mark and I will jump in other ways, but are you guys prepared to do something like that with us?
Absolutely. I mean, where the mission is to get much love flowing as we can, and any way that we can do it, any partnerships, we can get creative, we can think outside the box. But I mean, one thing just that comes to my mind straight away is when people visit your website and see that part, you can tell them that they might feel a little different as they're reading this, because while they've been on your website, they've been streaming love, and here's the numbers coming in real time. So like, there's lots of ways to put it in there in a way that makes it relevant for whatever it is that you do in business. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mark?
Yeah, Aiden, nice to meet you. Ariana spoke highly of you, that she had a meeting with you the other day there. So it's nice to meet you in kind of quasi person here. I've just stepped outside of Colorado State University, where I was an extension faculty there for 16 years. And I'm wondering when you're talking about the research end of things and seeing if, seeing if what we're talking about actually makes a difference on production and stuff like that. I'm wondering if I could maybe work with you a bit and see if I can't talk some of my former cohorts into bending past the academic realm a little bit and going into the heart more. I know a couple of them who are pretty big movers and shakers that may be able to play in that realm. If that's something that unless you've already got something already set up there, it'd be fun to play in that realm as well.
Yeah, look, that's a big part of where we want to go. I had someone introduce me recently. I haven't spoken to him yet, but he's been given the download. He's the head of meditation at Harvard, and he said they were interested even as well. So
Even
I'm
better.
100%. I'm 100% open to talking to talking with you on that. That sounds incredible. And once we can get the data, obviously that's the thing that's going to shift the needle in a big way, So thank you for that. And I'd love to reach back out to you, connect with you on that.
All right, guys, any other questions? Aiden, anything else you want to tell us?
No, I don't think so. Just to express my gratitude for being here and for doing what you're doing and for taking time out of your day at such short notice to hear what I'm up to. And it's great to see how it resonates with people when I get the right people in the room, because it's been a very lonely journey. I had years of drugs and alcohol abuse and like all sorts of things, and when I all of a sudden come up with this thing where I knew I had to create this thing, commoditizing love in the best possible way, you can imagine my friends, family, people just were like, "You're crazy. You've lost it. You've lost the plot." And so it's really nice that it's getting to a point where I've got enough to show people where I can see, like, I might be crazy, but not in the worst way. So yeah, I just thank you all for providing an audience and sharing a little bit of your enthusiasm and energy for what you heard, because it really helps me keep going when it's tough.
Oh, sorry, guys, I put the wrong link because I put the .com at the end. So click on that last one on Instagram and everybody follow right now. Do it now if you haven't already. Rohini has a question.
Well, I just have to say, I'm so overwhelmed. This is just so beautiful. Love really is the only truth, right? It's our purest essence, it's our highest frequency, and it's just pure genius to figure out how to solve the biggest problems on the planet, inequality, with, just throw love at the situation. Ultimately, love and light will win. And, turns out Jesus and Moses and all the rest of them were right. It is love. Go back to love. So I say, just amazing. I'm so proud of you, Aiden. Thank you, Laura. This beautiful community. And yes, all into love. It's such a privilege to be part of your first one-to-many on this, Aiden. So thank you for the invitation, and absolutely delighted. This is just freaking amazing. Love is the answer. Come on. And if you haven't
Thanks so
seen
much.
Aiden's video, please, Aiden, would you mind sending the link around to an amazing video he made? It's beautiful and it's classic. And I've just posted it on all my social medias. I was just so touched. So
I think it's on that Instagram
it's
link
a
there for
movement,
everybody.
right?
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's a glow, but it's all you need is love. That is it, right? It is. But you see, it is simple, but it's so difficult. And this is why it's genius to have figured out how to raise the collective vibration and monetize it and put it into products, put it into PR, put it into creating a USP for business. And proper genius.
Thank you so much,
I'm in
Rainey.
London, Stacey. I'm based in London.
So you guys, and anybody who will be watching the replay today, I'm just going to say it out loud. You're going to connect with Aiden by email at at theworldsgreatestexperiment.com. Just want to verbalize it for people watching the replay. Theworldsgreatestexperiment.com is the website. Go to the website, you guys. You can reach out to Aiden by email or me by email. I'm going to be emailing this replay out, Aiden, to a bigger community who signed up, but also on my Facebook groups, you guys, Brave Healers, who told me that you couldn't be here today. So please feel free to reach out if you have questions, and we will get you with Aiden to answer them. Anyone else have anything that has come to mind question-wise before we wrap up? Stacy, do you have something? Was that a finger or no?
That was me typing like how
Okay.
I'm so blown away. I'm really blown away, Aiden. Yeah, if I had, I would throw $1,000 in. I'm gonna do individual, but eventually my business will be part of it as well.
Incredible.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah, I'm doing a half heart from the video.
Yeah, there you go.
My
Make it a
hand's
last
holding
minute.
my phone. My hand's holding my phone. So heart, love to you. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Any last message, Aiden?
No, just thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you, and I hope to connect with some of you offline if you've got any ideas or thoughts, or yeah, just welcome it. And yeah, thank you in advance for yeah, anything that comes to mind and any help that you can give us get this going. Appreciate you all.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much,
everyone.
Laura, for organizing this. I appreciate it.
My
Huge
pleasure.
deal. All right.
Have a great Friday and weekend, everybody. See you soon.